Welcome back to Destructive News. News no matter how destructive. And we've got another story for you, another shooting in the Sun community. We want to take a look at the news story, an interview with the locals, who they blame, and what the solution to this problem is. And then when we're done, we're going to take a look at Wilmington in this makeup and how all of this fits in to the problem that we see in these cities. Let's take a look.
It has been a particularly violent weekend in Wilmington, Delaware.
It's a violent weekend every weekend.
On his birthday, and 5 others were hurt in separate shootings. Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher spoke to a community that's fed up.
I spoke with the uncle.
They've been fed up for decades, but nothing changes.
The 14-year-old over the phone. He says the family is in disbelief, and he said that his nephew was killed on his birthday.
But what happened last night, it was just a sad, terrible situation.
Terrible.
The mayor just need to get out here and get these kids together, because if not, everybody's gonna be dead.
Everybody gonna be dead. Slimehead calling out the mayor. I wonder if their mayor is a Sunmen or a glider that they elected to save everybody. But that remains to be seen.
Community
Stick
members
with
are
us.
reacting to the latest gun violence in Wilmington.
Also, they like to call it gun violence. It's not gun violence. Guns don't get arrested for crimes. When was the last time you seen a gun be arrested and perp walk to a police cruiser for killing someone? People commit crimes. People commit crimes using tools. Usually that tool is a fist in a foot. Oftentimes it's a knife, but it does happen with firearms, illegally possessed, illegally used firearms. But they like to take the firearm, and they don't even do this with all tools. They don't do this with knives. They don't do this with frying pans. They don't do it with baseball bats. They don't do it when people get beaten to death, when they get pushed in front of a train and killed, when they get run over by a car. They don't blame the car. Only when there is a gun does the news and politicians continue to blame the tool. It's the gun's fault. The gun made him do it. No, it didn't. It's not gun violence. It's people violence. These are people doing this to other people. Guns aren't inherently bad. Guns aren't, they don't have the ability to mind control you. A gun sitting on the table cannot harm anyone. A person would have to pick the gun up and then make the decision to harm someone. But they constantly use this language, this wordplay, to constantly make it seem like the people in this community are good. They're only doing bad things, and they only become bad when there's a gun in their hand. The gun just convinces them to do bad things and to harm people. That's the way the language is positioned. And it's positioned like that on purpose, because these people are smart and they understand the words that I'm saying, and they actually believe what I'm saying. They know this. A lot of the people that work at this news station, a lot of people that work at news stations across the country, politicians themselves, they have and carry firearms. In Pennsylvania, there was a bunch of Congress people that are there, and they're constantly trying to push gun control. There were 2 Congress people that were big they're big on gun control. They were robbed. The guy pulled a gun out and started shooting at the robbers. That's very weird, seeing that this person is anti-gun and pushes gun control. He actually has a gun and carries it and used it to defend himself. That story didn't really make the news, but it happened in the state of Pennsylvania. A Democrat who pushes gun control has a gun and carries it when he's at the state capitol working as a representative. It is so hilarious. A lot of these congressional people, a lot of the people in Congress actually own firearms and have machine gun collections. It's very weird. When they do these bills, they write these anti-gun bills, they exclude themselves. They exclude themselves because they have guns. You're the only idiot that doesn't get it. They want you to be disarmed, and you listen.
This agreement can end up to you not going home at night. It can end up you on the back of on the front of somebody's t-shirt. It can end up you and teddy bears on the corner somewhere.
Teddy bears on the corner, candles, Jesus candles, name on a shirt. Get your name put on a shirt. That's what all of this is about. Sunmen getting angel wings and put on a t-shirt. getting hit up on the block, and then there'd be candles and teddy bears on the corner dedicated to your life.
Police say a 14-year-old and a 20-year-old were shot at 6th and North Madison Streets around 9:30 last night. Officers were out on a separate call when they heard gunshots nearby and responded, driving the victims to the hospital. 14-year-old Braylon Johnson did not survive. The 20-year-old is in critical condition. Just a few hours later, around 11 p.m., 4 people were shot at West 20.
I promise you, an overwhelming majority of these people, the shooters, and the shot are Sun people.
27th Street. Authorities say a 34-year-old man is in critical condition while the 3 other victims are stable. The gun violence in Wilmington this week.
It's not gun violence. It's Sunmen violence.
Again follows a deadly shooting last week.
It's senseless. It's
There goes that word. Senseless, brazen.
innocent people that are getting shot, and it shouldn't be like this. You should be able to leave work and go home and not have something like this.
These people aren't working. Who's leaving work this late in the night? These are dirty dealings. Granted, the playground shootings and stuff, that's different. But a lot of this stuff happens in the middle of the night in criminal hours.
This happened to you.
Kathy knew Carrie Mundell for 6 years. Mundell crashed her white Honda last week on the 600 block of Washington Street. Police say she was struck by a stray bullet as she drove home from work. She died on Friday. The shooting happened just 3 blocks from where the 14-year-old boy by a stray.
Something like this happened to you.
Kathy knew Carrie Mundell for 6 years. Mundell crashed her white Honda last week on the 600 block of Washington Street. Police say she was struck by a stray bullet as she drove home from work. She died on Friday. The shooting happened just 3 blocks from where the 14-year-old boy was shot and killed.
Anything can happen. Like, you just left work, and like now she's gone, and now her little son doesn't have his mother, and it's heartbreaking.
Police say no arrests have been made.
And the fix for it is to make sure that Nancy Pelosi puts gun control on the ballot. That's what's gonna stop it. Make sure that nobody can have guns.
Either of these incidents, anyone with information is asked to call the police. Reporting in Wilmington, Brianna Gallagher.
No one's calling the police. Let's take a look at the comment section to see what they're talking about. Let's see, please catch the criminals and put them behind bars before he runs for local office. The lady talking about what his so-called mayor can do, but nothing about being good parents. What has the mayor to do with their bad kids? It starts at home in the neighborhood. Stop hiding and making excuses for the ones that need to be locked up. Constantly seeing the sentiment of punishing the parents of these people that do this stuff. She really said the mayor needs to do something. How about you and the rest of your people in the community do something and get these super gremlins that's in your community doing these crimes? But they don't see them as super gremlins. They see them as kids. 40 years ago, we used to make cars and other products in this country. Now all we make, millions of entitled people. Grim milestone as Philly is the 346th homicide as of August 21st. Interesting. 9 out of 10 chance this is all started over a pair of shoes. Keep those stereotypes alive and strong, Philly. Culture, culture, culture. We can't change your culture. No program can change your culture. No government fix to change the culture. You have to do it yourselves. No one can help. Let's see what the response is on this one. People of color are very proud of their African heritage. There is no need to change. Yeah, okay. And you're a tether. Community electroshock therapy, gangster rap is not a part of your heritage. Bam! Nothing to do with culture, poor areas. As long as you keep amongst yourself, then okay, if that's how you feel. The mayor, it's not the responsibility of local government to raise these kids. It's their parents' responsibility to raise their kids. Well, the government is helping this problem. They're not totally off the hook. But let's take a look at Wilmington, Delaware. Population 70,000. They're on a decline. Small decline, but a decline. Senator, couldn't have guessed it. Democrat. Senator 2, would have never have guessed it. Democrat. U.S. Representative, would have never have guessed it. Another Democrat. 35 median age and it is a decrease. Poverty is pretty dang high. Median household income pretty low. Median household property value also pretty low. And the employed population, less than 50, and they're on a decline. But let's see if it is a chocolate city. And yes, it is. Over half the percentage of the people in this place are Sunmen. Anything over 20%, I would recommend you seek another place to live for your family. And this is anyone, not just Sun people. I would get the heck out as it creeps. Me personally, my threshold is like 10. If it gets to 10, then you're going to start seeing a lot of problems. If it gets to 20, gosh, man, you're living in a bad place. If it's 50, wow. What if it's 50? I'm saying, what are these people doing? What are these people doing? What are these people doing? Why are you there? Why? It's not a good look. Get out of there. Let's take a look at city council. The mayor is a Democrat, by the way. I believe it's some white dude. Let's take a look. Who is the mayor? Mayor. Yep, some old glider. But let's take a look at the president of city council. Democrat. You know, they're all Democrats. City council members. Democrat. Hair hat. Democrat hair hat. Democrat hair hat. Democrat natural hair. Democrat hair hat. Another Democrat. You know these people are Democrats. Come on, man. My man got a gold tooth. Good gosh. Man. Blue dog. Democrats creating a city of death. And the answer is, of course, gun control. Delaware has gun control. It's very difficult for people to be able to defend themselves legally in Delaware because they don't want anybody hurting their criminals. But thank you for checking out the video. We'll be creating new stuff moving forward, trying some new changes. But thank you for sticking with me. Make sure you hit that like, share, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't. And we'll see you on the next one. Later.